Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Hare Krishna, dear devotees. Thank you very much for joining today. So, a couple of things today. It's the disappearance day of Locana Thakur. So, we can quickly remember him and get his blessings. And after that, we will look at chapter 59 of the 10th canto. Okay, so this is Locana Thakur. He appeared in 1520, 34 years after the appearance of Chaitanya Mahaprabhu. He wrote a biography of Chaitanya Mahaprabhu entitled Chaitanya Mangal, and he wrote many devotional songs. So this Chaitanya Mangal is quite famous. Srila Locana Thakur took birth in a family of Rahiya physicians who resided in the village of Kogram within Mahakuma Ratna district of Padan Mam. His guru was Narahari Sarkar Thakur, who we've talked about before. Quite a famous personality in Chaitanya Leela. I am a servant of Thakur Shri Narahari, who is the master of my life. The desire of all my desires I place at his lotus feet, which is that this vile creature himself might describe something about the wonderful qualities of Sri Gaura Sundar. In this expectation, he is my only refuge. So this is in the Chaitanya Mangal. His father's name was Kamalakara Das and his mother's name Sri Sadananda. He was the only son of his parents. He was raised in his maternal grandfather's home and his education was completed there. When he was only a little boy, he enjoyed the good fortune of meeting the devotees of Gauranga. He was married at a very young age. From his youth, he was very attached to Sri Gauranga and consequently very disinterested in material life, though he was surrounded by family, friends, society. In his youth, he spent the major part of his time at his guru's ashram, Shrikand, Shrikand, where he learned how to do kirtan. So the book that he composed, Chaitanya Mangal, was from the diary of Murari Gupta, written in Sanskrit, called Chaitanya Charitamrita. So Murari Gupta, who resides at Nadia, composed many beautiful verses about the life of Sri Gauranga. These include the youthful pastimes of Nimai, which Murari Gupta personally took part in, and his later pastime in Nilachal after he accepted sannyas. Nilachal is the same as Jagannath Puri, which were narrated by Sri Damodar Pandit. So that's Swarup Damodar, I think. Having heard these verses of Murari Gupta composed in Sanskrit, I have become very attracted, and so I have composed them in the village folk poetry meter of Bengali. Previously in Bengal, especially East Bengal, now Bangladesh, the poets used to compose sacred songs and verses in different forms of classic rhymes and rhythmic meters called Panchali, such as Lakshmi Panchali, Shanir Panchali, and Manasa Basan. The Panchali style of composition was specially used for glorifying the Lord. Being a talented musician, Sri Locana Thakur used the Panchali form of verse meter in composing his famous work, Sri Chaitanya Mangal. The Panchali form employs 5 different kinds of song styles or meters. Locana Thakur told Mahaprabhu's pastimes in beautiful poetry filled with fire and rhythm. Common people could easily understand the divine character of Sri Chaitanya and awaken their religious feelings. As devotees regularly chant the Vedic epic Ramayana and Mahabharata, Gaudiya Vaishnavas still wander through Bengal reciting Chaitanya Mangal. In the Chaitanya Mangal, Locana Thakur tells many pastimes of Lord Chaitanya not revealed by Vrindavan Das Thakur or Krishnadas Kaviraj. He mentions an early touching conversation Sri Gaurasundar had with Vishnu Priya Devi the night before he took sannyas. Lochan Thakur also wrote many songs praising Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, Sri Nityananda Prabhu, and Gauridas Pandit. So he stresses that Raghunuga Bhaktas must take shelter of Gadadhar Vrindavaneshwari to attain Radha Govind Prema Bhakti. And Bhaktisiddhanta Saraswati used to print and distribute Lochan Thakur's Sri Chaitanya Mangal. He did that much more than the Chaitanya Charitamrita, because Chaitanya Charitamrita has a lot of philosophy. And philosophy is a little hard for people to digest, but pastimes of Chaitanya are much easier. So Chaitanya Mangal was the preferred book that Bhaktisiddhanta Saraswati Thakur used to distribute. And Srila Prabhupada was very fond of his bhajans. When singing Parama Karuna, Srila Prabhupada would plunge into ocean of Gauranga Prem. Vrindavan Das Thakur's composition on the pastimes of Sri Gaurasundar was originally called Chaitanya Mangal, but later on his name was changed to Chaitanya Bhagavat. Those pastimes which are not described in full by Vrindavan Das Thakur, Lochan Das Thakur has described in his Chaitanya Mangal. In the preface to the Chaitanya Mangal, he offers prayers to Vrindavan Das Thakur before proceeding. I offer my prayers of submission to Vrindavan Das Thakur with all my heart. The sweet song of Chaitanya Bhagavat has enchanted the whole world. And his samadhi is in the 64 samadhi area in Vrindavan. So this is a tree under which he composed the Chaitanya Mangal in Bengal. So that's a quick run through the life and times of Lochan Das Thakur. Are there any questions or any comments? Otherwise, we can go to the Srimad Bhagavatam. Okay. Lochan Das Thakur ki jai.